Hey guys, Titan Apprentice, welcome back to the channel, and thank you guys for joining me today. Today's video we are discussing 5 jobs that you need on your homestead to survive an SHTF event. So for this video, for these ideas, I'm thinking an apocalyptic event has happened, right? Not just, oh, a little recession, but something massive. An EMP, a CME, something of that nature that we as the prepping community keep discussing, keep talking about. What are 5 jobs that you need to keep your homestead, your bug out location running, operating, and secure? Number 1 is security. Security is often overlooked. It's often not thought of until it's too late. If you remember the Discovery Channel show The Colony, seasons 1 and 2, the colonists, these people that were supposed to group together and survive an SHTF event, kept talking about being security. Kept talking about having security and making their sites more secure and being ready to fight. They didn't do it. They let other things get in the way until they were attacked. You don't think about security until after you need it, but I'm here to tell you that security should be one of your first things that you set up. And a security plan should be one of the first things you set up when you get to that location. And if you're already at your bug out location, you should already have a plan and an idea in place. Now, I know what a lot of people are going to say, well, hell, every single person who's on my homestead, who's at my bug out location, is going to carry some sort of weapon with them, and they can be security. It doesn't work that way. I've got guys who have guns and they're working in the fields. Can they be security? No. I've got a guy who's being the doc, who's being the medic. Can he be security? No. Your security personnel, that is their only task. They are watching, they are looking, they are waiting, they are alerting you to any suspicious activity or any activity. Now, how do you set up security on a bug out location or a homestead? You get the person high. Get them as high as you can, maybe a deer stand, maybe set them up in a tree, and you let them look. The bare minimum to set up a security area is 2 people. 1 on each 180 degree. So this guy is looking both this way, this guy looking forth and to the right. So you've got your 2 people set up and they are looking out. The idea number of people is 4. So now these 4 people have overlapping fields of fire, they have overlapping looks, they are watching. And that is their only job for the day. Now you can rotate people, you can put, 6-hour shifts, 4-hour shifts, whatever, but you need to run it like a plant. You need to run it like a security perimeter zone in the military. You need to run it like an ECP, right? These people have binoculars, they have scoped rifles, they have radios, they are alerting others inside the area of anything that is outside the area. Hey, we've got 2 people walking up, they are unarmed. Hey, we got 5 people walking up, they are armed and they look pissed off, right? Again, you want these people as high as possible. Deer stands, tree stands, up on buildings, up on roofs. If you don't have that, set them up in a tree. Give them something that they can look out with, i.e. binoculars or a scoped rifle, or just a rifle scope if you ain't got the rifle. Something where they can see, because they are now taller and now they can see further distances. Give them something that they can communicate with, i.e. some sort of walkie-talkie CB radio, because they need to alert not only the other security personnel, but also the people inside the zone that there is something coming. Whether that's a friendly, whether that's an enemy, whether that's an unknown, they need to alert them. And that way your people that are inside doing the other task can then start getting ready. Job number 2 is a doc. Doc, medic, CNA, RN, EMT, Boy Scout, whoever has the most medical experience. There's going to be a lot of things going down when SHTF happens. Whether that is bullet holes, whether that is broken ankles, whether that is malnutrition, dehydration. You need somebody that knows what they're talking about and what they're doing to fix the problems. Now, some problems are easily fixed, like dehydration, drink some water, eat some sugar. Some problems are not easily fixed, like amputations. The person with the most medical experience needs their own little area that they can operate in. People are going to get sick. People are going to have flus and viruses and things that happen throughout the course of an SHTF event. Somebody needs to be dedicated to taking care of these people. Because if you got one sick guy and he's like, man, I'm not feeling well, and you put him with a bunch of other people, chances are granny's getting sick, the kids are getting sick, everyone's getting sick, and now the whole place is down. So your doc is your most medically experienced person. And a lot of us are trauma trained, right? Whether that's from job, whether that's from work, whether that's from what we do on the side, especially being preppers, well, we are more trauma trained. Do not pretend like your trauma training is medical experience. It's not. You want an EMT, you want a paramedic, you want some sort of nurse, and especially those who have medicinal, plant-based ideas, you want them to be the most experienced, because you're going to run out of medicine real quick. So you want somebody that is knowledgeable on how to fix things, or how to fix things the best that they can, while also how to fix things without using up all of the medication we have. The third job that you need on your homestead or bug out location to survive SHTF is water fetcher. A lot of people don't think about this one. A lot of people think like, oh man, dude, I'll have water. What if you don't? Okay, maybe you have a nice flowing river right outside of your homestead. It's 2 steps away. You scoop it up by the barrel. Awesome. But what if you don't? What if your closest water source is over a mile away? How much water can somebody actually physically carry using their 2 arms? I know there's a lot of tough guys on the internet that can be like, oh dude, I'll throw a 55-gallon drum over my shoulder and walk with it slap full. Let's be real, let's be realistic here. The likelihood of you carrying water over any distance diminishes the amount of water you can carry. Realistically, I would say the average person can carry somewhere between 3 and 5 gallons of water with each hand in a 5-gallon bucket. The lower the water amount, the longer distance you can carry it, the more you can carry at a time. What do I mean by that? If you have a 5-gallon bucket that is slap full and you're carrying it with one shoulder, carrying it a mile, it's going to slosh around. You're going to lose water. If you only put 3 gallons of water in that bucket, it's going to slosh less. You're going to be able to carry it faster. Makes sense. Now you got 2 of them. So how much water are you going to need for your event? How much water are you going to need for your people? Well, that kind of depends on how many people you have. Let's say you have 20 people. You can only carry 6 gallons of water at a time, 2 3-gallon buckets. The water source is a mile away. It's going to take you 20 minutes to get there, 20 minutes to get back. Bare minimum. Not counting actually filling up the buckets. Not counting any stops, not counting any rest stops, any breaks. So you're looking about an hour, because we'll throw in about 20 minutes for resting. So now you're spending about 4 hours to get barely over the 20-gallon mark. 24 gallons to be precise. And that's just for one day. Those 20 people are going to need another 20 gallons tomorrow, and the next day, and the next day, and not to mention the gallons you're going to need for cooking, for cleaning, for washing your ass. It's going to take a lot of water, and you're a mile away from the unit. So you get some sort of wagon, some sort of cart, so now you can carry more water. Right now you can carry 6 5-gallon buckets. It takes you 1 trip, and you're a day and a half's worth of water for those 20 people. Awesome. Can you push that cart up the hill? Can you pull it up the hill? Yeah, it's got wheels, but it also has 30 gallons of water on it. So this is going to be at least a 2-man job, if not a 3-man job. The more people add, the more water you can carry. But you also want to secure that water. Because if a big SHTF event breaks out, chances are people are going to rob you for your bucket. They're going to rob you for your water. They're going to rob you for your shoes. Right? If you look at Bosnia during their civil war, if you look at Argentina, if you look at Venezuela, they're going to rob you for anything you have. So you want some sort of security on that transport. So that's a 3-man job. 1 person holding security in the back, 1 person holding security in the front, 1 person actually pulling the cart. A lot of people don't think about this. It is a full-time job just to get water, and again, that's just enough water to drink. You got to factor in another gallon for cooking, another gallon for cleaning, especially if you have 20, 30 people on your campsite. It's going to take a lot of water. The 4th job you're going to need at your campsite, at your bug out location, at your SHTF survive zone is the field hand. A lot of people want to think that they can go into some sort of disastrous scenario with gallons of buckets and gallons of rice, and they will survive no problem. If you are not regrowing your own crops, if you are not regrowing your own food, you are going to run out. Plain and simple. You can fight me on this. A bucket with a hole in it is going to run out of water. You need to be growing crops. You need to be growing potatoes and corn and beets and radishes and these deep, heavy crops. You need to be having a lot of your own produce in your backyard. You've got the security to defend it. You've got the watering people to water it. You need to be having it to grow your own food, because if not, you will run out of food. Fight me on this. I dare you. But you need field hands. You need people that are going to be out in the field pulling the weeds, watering the plants, figuring out how things actually grow. Do you cut off the first little stem you see, or do you let them grow all the way up? What about the critters that are in there? You need to set traps to try to catch those critters. You need to be out making sure the chickens don't get attacked by hawks and buzzards and foxes, right? Field hands. You need people working in the fields to grow the food so you and your community can survive. Now, these jobs can rotate, right? You can be field hand one day and security the next. You can be docks assistant one day and water fetcher the next. You don't have to be set doing field hand stuff for the next year or so after SHTF hits. You can rotate, but you still need these people. You still need these people that are going to go out and do these jobs. Because if you're like, no, I'm the king, I set up this bug out location, it's just me, I don't have to do any work, they're going to override you. There's going to be a mutiny on the boat and you're going to die. Okay? So let's talk about the fifth job. That is scavenger. I say hunter-gatherer because at the beginning stages, you're going to want to send some people out to go kill the deer, to kill the bear, to go kill the animals so they can bring back food to the homestead. That's awesome, right? But what happens when every Tom, Dick, and Harry in your area is doing that? Well, the deer population goes out, the squirrel population runs out, people are going to die for not having meat. So then you get gather, right? A person that can go out and gather the wild edibles. The problem with that is that on day one, you go out 20 feet into the woods and you pick up acorns. On day 2, you go out 30 feet. On day 4, you go out 40 feet. On day 100, you're going a mile plus in the woods because there's no more acorns. Hunter, gather, scavenger. Your quickest guys. Your guys that can run fast, that can move fast, that can blend in. If you have a city or a town near you that you've got to go scavenge from, you don't want the fat guy. You don't want the guy with the bummed out knee like I do, right? You want the guy that's quick, that's fast, that can get in, get out, sneak around things. And you don't want to do it all tactically, right? A lot of people think, oh, I want to be tactical during SHTF. You don't want to look like you belong in Iraq, even though a lot of people on YouTube have never been to Iraq. What you want to do is be sneaky about it. Get close to town, use binoculars, use that scoped rifle, and start eyeballing the town. Sit on the town for an hour, 2 hours, see if you see any movement, any motion, any people that come through every hour on the hour, right? You want to have this idea of doing an LPOP, a listening post, observation post, before you go into that area. And then when you get in that area, okay, I'm going to hit this building, run through it, and then get out. I'm not going to walk around town like it's a scenic area. You want your fastest, your quickest guys. What are you scavenging for? Is there a local grocery store? Is there a local produce stand? Is there something valuable in there? Other than the people, is there something in that area worth scavenging? Let me know what other jobs you would see after SHTF. I might make a second video. I might make something similar, but let me know down below. That's all I got for today's video. What do you think about these 5 jobs? Would you move one up, move one down? This isn't necessarily order of importance, but what other jobs would you add? That's all I got for today's video. Y'all stay safe out there. YouTube out.